welcome to Bullet Bill's Big 3. I'm your host Baron Marth, and you are joined as always by the legend, the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Thinking of more feats to live up to this greatness.
That's right, bestowed.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know, maybe bestowed, I don't know if it's earned. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it is, but that's our difference in opinions. Let them flow. Right, anyway, more importantly, it's Bullet Bill's Big 3. This is bounty hunting time. This is where we pull out the news of the week. Look at the biggest bounties, or at least our own personal biggest bounties, I think. Each get our own bounty right at the beginning, and then we're into the bonus bounty round, see who gets the biggie, as it were. So, first bounty of the week, Link, what you got?
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone!
Not obviously the Archer-esque Kenny Loggins inspired Danger Zone. But no, the game from developers Threefield, they're obviously comprised of former Burnout devs from Criterion.
Oh yeah.
They released Dangerous Golf, I think about 8 months ago. 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was a mad little game. It was good little blast for sort of half an hour. But yeah, they've obviously announced the release date of their new game Danger Zone, which is basically the crash mode from Burnout 2, which is no bad thing, because to be fair, that was, if not played as much as the Burnout game itself for me. I played a lot of crash mode. I enjoyed that.
So it's weird, because for me, like, I played loads of Burnout 2, and in Burnout 2 I never really entertained playing crash mode. I did it for, like, you know, the little achievement you got to hit or something like that, but I didn't really sort of get really into it. This sort of like almost ragdolling of your vehicle once you hit one thing and see where it lands, you know.
Getting specific challenges on all certain scores. But I had a sort of running battle with my older brother.
So that would drive it.
Yeah. I mean, there was some serious hours put into that, and like 3/4 of an hour on one to get like maybe a sort of 0.5% increase on his score, and he's just like, yeah, I beat you.
Yeah, fuck you. I beat you.
So obviously the game that inspired obviously that rivalry is now sort of kind of being re-released as its own standalone thing. Obviously the 30th of May.
Oh, okay. There seems to be a bit of a recurring theme in their gaming catalogue. So in Burnout, they went, hold it, wait, we could crash this shit, yeah? And then they're like, hold it, wait, we can make a golf game where we crash shit. And then like, hold it, wait, we could go back to that original idea of crashing shit. Let's use the car bit again.
Yeah. I mean, fair play to them.
They've got an engine, they're going to use it.
Yeah, that's it. Run with it. I mean, yeah, speaking of engines, obviously, this is why I'm just lifting things from their website now. So it's powered by the Unreal Engine, so it looks very pretty.
Ooh.
And the bangs and the flashes and the crashes do look very nice.
Ooh, and probably grungy as well.
But yes, Danger Zone combines real physics with explosive gameplay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's a game.
That's a throwaway statement, isn't it?
It's just typical PR schmout.
That's like press some generic shit. Go.
Yeah, that's it. There's like the first lines you taught 101 kind of thing. First class.
Yeah.
Right. Here's how you sell something. These are the first words that you use on every press release.
It's the first word of every baby salesman.
Yeah. So yeah, we get back to the original point. It's going to PS4 and PC the 30th of May for £9.99 or €12.99.
Wow.
So it's not a bad price.
Are you going to be buying it?
Yeah, day one.
Fair play. Fair play. I mean, for me, I didn't play enough of it in Burnout 2 to warrant it myself, but I hope it's a full game.
It's well, at least if it's priced accordingly. So, you know, if it was to be made at EA, it'd at least be 25 quid.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
But don't forget the DLC season pass.
Yeah, that's only $17.99. Okay, so shifting over to our second bounty of the week then. It's Azure Striker Gunvolt Strikes Pack, or Striker Pack. There's too many strikers in there, isn't there?
I'm going to probably remember it. The game that's really easy to mispronounce and get wrong. Yeah,
that's the one. So Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack is actually 2 games in one. It's been announced for the Switch, and I'm obviously everyone's hard on the Switch right now. Everyone's just loving it. I'm watching every release which comes out, And so the game made by Inti Creates. I don't know if you recall.
Yeah, they made one of my favourite games for the DS, which was Elite Beat Agents.
Yeah, great.
Amazing game.
Yeah, very good.
Great soundtrack.
So they basically busted out a couple of these games last year and released them on 3DS.
Yeah, I remember I was reading about this earlier in the week. Obviously, with the Gunvolt, because it was just a series of just little mashup games that they got bored and like prototyped, and they were like, "This is actually pretty fun. Let's
Pepper
flesh
in
out
some
a bit."
characters and stuff. Yeah.
It's a bit of artwork. Bob's your uncle.
So it is like, one of those typical mashup games, as you call them. Like I always think of things like the Capcom SNK, Capcom, Marvel, Bang Bang. Just you get.
Let's just get two just IPs and smash them together and see.
Because we've got an idea for a game.
Yeah.
But they've been really, really popular and did really well on the 3DS. So the Striker pack obviously picks up both of them, 1 and 2. But they've done a little bit more. So they haven't just gone, here's your games. Because first things first, somebody went, hold it, wait, that's a 3DS game.
Yeah.
That's got 2 screens. One of them's a touch screen. What are we going to do? So they've done some sensible stuff about sort of mixing it up so the control system matches to a single screen interface. You can still use your normal controls and your pro controller on the Switch, all that jazz.
They've hopefully not just done the shovelware and let's just
get it
scoop it in there and just
Stuff
get it
in.
to work, and that's a bit chunky, but fuck it.
No, they've actually gone, do you know what, we actually need to make this an experience. So they've actually gone, we care about this, so we're going to do something interesting. We're going to add Rumble HD, for example, because it's on the Switch. We can do that. They've also said, look, we're going to up the frame rate 30 frames to 60 frames per second. That's to me a pretty big deal when they're sort of doing a re-release, not just sort of churning it as a port. So they've done some really, really cool stuff.
To be fair, most ports it's like, wait a minute, didn't this run at 30 frames per second on the 3DS? Why does it not run at 30 frames a second now on a more powerful console?
Yeah, so they've done it at 60, thank God, and kind of flogged their way through it. No. Use that horsepower, which is great because that's what you're supposed to do. When you port to a more powerful console, you're supposed to get some added benefit, not just fuck, this is slow because now it's running an emulation of a slow game. It's that's not good. There's most importantly all DLCs in there as well, so it's like a proper full pack of those two games.
Very similar to Yacht Games sort of Shovel Knight approach.
You got it. It's the adding in the temper of I forget the name of their DLCs now from the. But you've got
the 2 different packs, haven't you? You've got the new one, which is obviously the one that you bought. Is that the Torment of Spectres?
Torment of Spectre, and I'm trying to remember what something like
of
Plague Knight.
Oh, Plague Knight, yeah.
But it's kind of it's all wrapped in. It's coming out 31st of August.
Did you say that was both the games for just the Switch, or is it I know? To go a bit off topic, Square have got with their Dragon Quest XI, you can buy the PS4 version and the 3DS version in the same game.
No, this is literally. So there's no sort of
both titles for the Switch.
Yeah, there's no sort of Nintendo haven't really done this yet. Which is
crossplay. Fuck no.
So
why give them both? Why give them for both consoles when they can pay for it for both consoles?
Never going to happen. So 31st of August. Check it out, folks. I think it's going to be big. It's on my watch list.
So not too far away.
Yeah. Right, over to the bonus bounty round, and here we go. And yet again, folks, Link's drilling it
2-1 to the angry Link. 2-1 to the angry Link.
Link's got it. So
I hate to boast.
Do you know, in many ways,
it's so enjoyable and delicious.
This was so obvious, that I think one of us was going to have it. Yeah. I'm just trying to be polite here, and although I think I'm a little bitter.
Returning the favourite from last week, really, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But either way, let's put everybody out of their misery. The bonus bounty for this week, the big news item is
Destiny 2. It's the big reveal. Obviously, we've talked about it in previous weeks that it's coming up, and they're showing it off to the presses, and they've rolled out the red carpet.
They have indeed.
So obviously, everyone in their articles, it's been brilliant because you have to, because transparency. Is accommodation and transport provided by Activision.
Yeah.
Every time it just cracks me up. It's like, really, who would have thought?
Carried.
Sorry, anyway, back to the case in point.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of flogged, Destiny 2.
Here it is.
So, just going to quickly run through what new stuff they've brought to it, really.
Right, I just want to tee this up by saying I've not really seen a great deal. I've seen a couple of trailers, but not a great deal. So
Don't worry, it was standard press conference stuff where come out and people go thank them and thank you.
Thank you,
and pat on the back and all the hard work and
done anything
done.
But
and
thank you.
You've got various staff members and leads that come out and get wheeled out and big smiles, and they've all got their little logos
people
which represent stuff in the game.
Shaking hands.
No, they did do the shaking hands part.
But thank you.
Yeah. No, it was all wheeled out on their own. So
Yeah.
I think it was a trapdoor where it was just like shunk.
Wouldn't surprise me if they were like wheeled out in iron lungs, where like we've worked this person to
or an
death.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Get out and work. Now it's your time to work. So it started with the opening mission.
Ooh.
Well, this is where I'm rolling with it. We're going to talk first mission.
Yeah.
So we obviously know that everything's gone to shit. Old Ghoul or Gary as Kader.
George, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
so he's turned up. He wants the light for himself. He feels that it's his. That humans are undeserving. So he's basically said, "Now, fuck you guys. I'm taking that. That's mine.
give me that shit."
Yeah. So you've lost everything. Obviously, he fucks up the whole last city, and the vaults are gone, which is the much maligned decision that they've made to do.
Yeah, so we've all seen the video of watching all of our shit get blown to Seventh Sunday, and you're like, oh god.
So that's obviously the opening of the game. You start there, you see this big flashy opening cinematic where Zavella throws out his bubble, and you're actually kind of not you're fighting alongside your vanguards in the same way that you would in Call of Duty. So it's all very scripted. It's not like he'll go out and go, oh, I'm struggling with this guy, and he'll come in and go, pow, pow, pow. No, he just does a scripted thing, and you've got to follow along. Otherwise, you'll die.
Right.
But you see all of the other vanguards taking down some people. Blah blah blah. You move through the first mission. I mean, it looks all pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the main complaints that I've had with Destiny was the story or lack of telling of a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a case of, if you want to go and find out the story, you've got to go and hunt it down on the website. You can't. Even if I quite happily read it in game.
No, but do you know what? For me, I'm sorry. They've got a huge marketing budget. They should be able to put some FMV in the game, act this shit out.
Even then, if you're going on lore and stuff like that, look, have you seen on Netflix, to go completely off topic, but sticking with Bungie? So no, it works. I'm fine. I'm clear. Halo Legends. They did the Animatrix, where they had the anime creators did like 6 little stories for Animatrix. Yeah, they've done the same thing with Halo. And there's been some really shonky Halo productions, as loose a term as I can. The Halo Reach one looks like it was made with a PlayStation 2 engine. Yeah, but it's horrendous. It's fucking hilariously bad.
Well, you get some better storylines out of Red v Blue.
It looks. Red v Blue looks better than this actual movie. It's fucking horrendous. But anyway, back to the case in point. They could do some really interesting things with the lore and, like you say, side projects and productions like that, but they haven't, and blah, blah, blah. But hopefully they've sorted it out with this. They're claiming there's more cinematics and it's going to be better delivered. I mean, they did improve it a lot with The Taken King, so hopefully they can stick to that. Moving on to the characters and abilities. So, obviously, we were talking about earlier, we know that all your precious loot is fucked. I mean, they couldn't even do some shonky, what you've got on you, what you can carry, you can take 2 things kind of thing. But no. You are going to get some new subclasses though. Obviously it's 1 each per class.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Going to quickly run through, you've got the Warlock with the Dawnblade. So it gives you the ability to hover or fly in the air and rain down swords of flaming death.
So basically the Warlock's going to start...
The Titan's Hammer, but you can fly as well.
Okay, cool.
Obviously you can do the big sort of from the air slam
Smash,
down. The Titan, they get the Sentinel, which is a Captain America style shield, which you can obviously frisbee around and ping between and ricochet between enemies.
Cool. So you're saying it's the most aggressive character in the game is getting away with defending. Oh, that's awesome. I bet they're thrilled.
Yeah, that's it. You thought that the hammers were bad?
Yeah.
Wait for the shield.
Well, yeah, no, you thought that the hammers were good. They were. Wait for the shield. That's not so good.
And then, we've got Hunter. And very, very similar to, obviously, the one it's replacing. Is Arc Strider. Obviously, it's taken away Arc Blade. Obviously, bearing in mind that these are all replacing a subclass. So it's not you're going to have 4 now. It's still 3. But these are the ones that are being replaced.
Couldn't think of another element, hey?
No. But it's kind of stuck, really, aren't they?
Why
but
not just fucking expand it? Sorry,
Yeah, I
but that
it's that's trying to stick to the shooter side more than let's go full RPG and just write something in.
Yeah.
Like New Aliens. But the Hunter, they've got the Arc Strider, which is now an electric bow staff, and it's ridiculous. You're flying around like a ninja. It's amazing. As soon as I saw it on there, I'm like, I'm kind of sold. I'm still not sold enough to pre-order it, but I'm thinking, yeah, I could just buy it for if I see it cheap. Yeah, it could be done. But anyway, so we're going to move on to the weapons, and that's changing. Obviously, you've lost everything, but they've changed the configuration, because where it was before, you obviously had your primary, was it green? I can't remember what it was. It's special, and then heavy.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you've got like this old Halo kind of system where you can have two weapons.
So all weapons are weapons, bar the heavies.
Yeah, which I know sniper rifles are moving into heavies, and I think
Makes
fusion
sense.
rifles are as well.
That makes sense as well.
I'm not too, excuse me, not too sure about shotguns though. But you can obviously now have one kinetic weapon, which can be any primary. You can have an energy weapon, which will be a primary, but with like Zalo.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it will have an element attached to it.
Yeah, like
so you can have
fire, whatever.
You can have your two. You can have the Ace of Spades, and then a last word kind of gun with fire or solar burn.
So you're saying you can't have two elemental weapons on at once?
Well, you could have the heavy as your elemental, as your second elemental. So you've still got two elemental weapons, but they could potentially, one of them will be a primary.
So
you'll have more ammo for it potentially.
So basically, they've split it up. So you've got your heavy weapons in one camp, and then you've got a pool of 2 slots for anything which is now a primary.
Yeah.
But you can only have one elemental in there.
Yeah.
Right. Man, that's nuts.
Yeah. So I mean, this is probably their excuse. Like, how can we get away with resetting everything? We've got to change the weapon system. It seems to me, I was very cynical whilst watching it. Like, so this is the right out of how you get away with it, is it?
Is it now?
But, there was minigun. Like, I was sold on that. I was like, it's a goddamn minigun. It was that whole Terminator 2, the helicopter pilot scene. Hey, that's a goddamn it. And then out comes Arnie and just...
0 kills.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, you said you wouldn't kill anybody. Don't worry, trust me. Sweet.
Amazing.
But we've seen some new locations. We've seen the European Dead Zone. It's actually finally being used, because I'm pretty sure it was built years and years ago. You know the doors in the tower, by the speakers tower?
Yeah.
They open, and that's what's behind them, is the European Dead Zone.
Okay. I'm not sure really what to take from that, as in... Are we now keeping that bit, or do we just walk through it before it blows up?
Well, you make your way into there. Obviously, a new settlement starts up. Obviously, I should have included that in the story, which I've got to write on my notes, which I've just remembered now. But, classic. That's full eat sleep game for you.
Count it.
But yes, obviously, you're going to end up living in the wilderness. Essentially, there'll be a small settlements built up. There's going to be more NPC interaction with the world. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we could go through that I don't think we have time to cover in its full. Check it out on YouTube with a full platform.
That sounds interesting. There's lots and lots of shit going on.
I mean, just to quickly run through the last few bullet points, obviously you've got your 4 new locations. You've got obviously European Dead Zone, Nessus, which I'm assuming is a moon from one of the various planets in our solar system. Titan, which I definitely know is a moon, but I think it's Saturn or Jupiter. I can't remember which one. And Io, likewise, ditto on the last point. So yeah, you've got your 4 new places. I think it was Titan. Looked amazing because it's got a methane sea.
Sweet.
And like all of these structures.
Methane sea?
Yeah.
Methane
obviously
sea.
liquid is yeah. But it gets to a certain temperature and obviously it becomes liquid then, doesn't it? And solidifies and all that shit, blah blah blah. Science. It looked really good. You got all these man-made structures. Do you remember Star Wars, the one where the clone planet? And you've got all the structures up there, and you've got the sea raging around. It looked a bit like that. It looked really cool.
Rough and ready.
But speaking of sort of travelling between planets, there's no need to return to orbit to go from one planet to another. So it's not like, I've got to go through orbit. And what should have probably, we were discussing earlier, is probably due to technical limitations of the previous consoles. But like you turned around and said, I don't give a shit. In a typical diplomatic way. I think that's Donald Trump diplomacy, that is, isn't it? So yeah, and we've actually got a map, so you can see what's on these planets and worlds and these spaces and stuff, and it tell you, like, you know, there's the things that people have had to build to use these features, like you've got the Destiny map fucking websites and stuff that tell you when public events are coming on. Destiny, Bungie have thought to actually include that in the game, something useful. So that's there.
So all of your shit's redundant.
Yeah, that's it. come to Bungie. Come.
You know that steady income you're getting from adverts on your app.
Yeah,
it's dead now.
Do you reckon though? It's like Bungie would probably like, no, we really want to help these guys out. We'll make the API so it's really accurate, and then Activision's like, no, you'll put it in game.
You'll put it in.
No, we like the idea that it's this lost wilderness that's not really mapped, and no, people are making money off of our IP that we're not making money on. Get it in the game.
Yeah.
Now.
The only way to stop people doing third-party shit is give it all away
again
and make them.
I'm going to get a bit controversial now. I can imagine, like, obviously, is it Bobby? Is he still in charge at the CEO? Is he still the big man? But like Bobby, he's got this video that he sends people if they don't make a decision. It's like some sort of ISIS style scene where there's someone in a jumpsuit and with a black hood on, and there's swords involved. Sorry, what was that? Did you say no? I don't know. It's maybe stepping a line, but
maybe a stepping stone too far.
So I'm going to go back to our initial discussion. Crucible's changed a little. Didn't really see a lot of modes and what's new, other than it's now 4v4. So it's going to more that trials, teamwork based thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that they found that 4 people as a team was the magic number, because most people are there to foursome. So that's probably why that's gone for that way. But again, there's more to come and more to see, hopefully. So to close it out, the one big main thing that they wanted to fix and they needed to fix was matchmaking. Big stat from the day was that only 50% of people that played Destiny, the Destiny Alpha, got the end gear. So they wanted to fix that.
Like the epic stuff, basically.
Yeah, all of the end game stuff, so all of your Crota raid stuff, all of the sword, the Siva raid stuff.
So most people aren't even getting to the end of the game, really.
No, because the raids were a problem. Because how many, me and you, I mean, I never did because we suffered the whole randos.
Yeah.
Rando. There was nothing. There was no system in place for me to find people or people to find us. It was all done via either Shudder, Facebook, not even LFG. So they fixed that. There's the clan system's now built into the game. It's actually useful. It's not just like you said earlier. It's just some letters next to your fucking avatar and your gamer tag, and just another list of people that you don't even speak to on your friends list. Mm-hmm. But they've got something interesting called guided games, where you, as your clan, you've got 3 or 4 people or 4 or 5 people, and you need that extra 1 or 2. You'll put out in the game that you need an extra 1 or 2. Then people, the randos and the solo players that are looking to get into this content and, you know, don't know what they're doing or do know what they're doing, but they can look at all of the pool of clans that are looking for players, and they can choose to join which one they want. So it's hopefully it avoids all the toxicity that comes and associates with randos and sort of random people being put together. And hopefully if you find it's a cool group of people, you can maybe potentially join that clan, but you don't have to. There's no impetus to join anything.
So at least it's sort of focusing that the people who are going to join your games are going to at least know that you want to either hunt for achievements, or you want to maybe, you know, complete a certain raid or do something.
That's it. You'll have a description about your clan and the kind of things you're looking to achieve, like a few sentences just to sort of sum it all up. So hopefully you'll get like-minded players, and it'll be a bit more accepting because you know they're your kind of people, so you can hopefully get on a bit better. Because when you find some bellends that you just really don't, that you clash with, it's just not fun.
It's just more the point, just all the wasted gaming hours. I mean, it gets to the point in Destiny where you were just kind of like saying, alright, we'll try the raid, but we probably won't get through it, not only because I've only got so much time to do this, but actually the people who I'm going to be playing with are just going to be a fucking nightmare, and they're going to drop out, or they're going to just be crap at the game, or whatever, you know?
Or the worst crime possible, play shit music, or any fucking music at all.
Eminem usually is what gets played down the headset.
Just anything. I remember I offended someone. I said, nah, I'm just going to mute you. I'll tell you what, no, I'm not even going to go through that hassle. Sorry guys, I really enjoyed being here, but I can't stand being here, so fuck you guys, I'm out. And I just left the party.
If you're gonna, you know, hate your way out of a party, I'm always like, all you guys are amazing, except for
Yeah.
JR59, who's a complete and utter bellend, and I'm leaving just because of him. See you later, goodbye. And then
Yeah.
just like make sure he feels special. You know?
Yeah, that's
Go
it.
for that one guy. Cool. Okay. Well, that's it. It's 2-1 to you.
Big drop there.
Yeah.
And I do applaud your gentlemanly conduct. I was just thinking, this is more like the old style duels of the 17th century, where it is at dawn and the 10 steps, and there was valets with drinks.
Yeah.
And you had a little sort of get together beforehand, and a potential
couple of
last,
brandies.
exactly,
And
last.
Break open the revolver box
Exactly,
where you
yeah.
choose your weapon. Yeah.
So yeah, it's less Wild West and more British. And aristocracy.
Bloody
Or
good show.
aristocracy, if I'm going to say it properly.
Well, look, let's try and get back to our cowboys and let's try and run some shit to ground in our roundup. So, busting on over, we're going to sort of hit all our little ones from the week. The tidbits, the taddlers,
The bounties that just weren't worth going after on their own.
the kind of bounty that I've got to run 20 just to make up the cash from your big Destiny bounty.
Hells
Or
yeah.
Destiny 2. Right, so busting off with the first one, it's South Park. All those fans of...
Wait a minute, can I interrupt?
You just did.
Is it been cancelled? Has it finally been cancelled?
Yes, no. South Park, for those of us who love the stick of truth and remember it well, and also remember the old deal that we went through trying to work out when the fuck this game was coming out, well, guess what? The Fractured Butthole, which was promised not to suffer the same trials and tribulations.
Because they learnt their lessons from the first game.
That's exactly what they said. Well, guess what? It suffered the same trials and tribulations, and a lot of us who'd probably been, expected it to drop in December of last year, and was disappointed to find that it was delayed then multiple times, and then in the last instance they just went, we've got no idea. We just called it like the end of the year, so let's just say 31st of December 2017. You'll probably get it this year. Not very reassuring.
So has it slipped to 2018?
No, they've actually kept it in the year. In fact, they've been quite ambitious. They've set October 17th.
Well, that's smart, because they know that if they release it 2 weeks later, they're fucked.
Pretty much, because...
World War II.
That's right, just remember it. And we don't mean the Call of Duty game, we mean actually someone's reliving World War II out there. But yeah, so South Park, finally, we've got a date.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think so. I was, as soon as it got slipped the first time, I think I probably had a cynical thought of it'll probably slip again. I didn't expect it to. I mean, I remember when they said at first, it was just like, it'll be in the financial year of 2017 to 2018. So like that's from when it should have been out to next March.
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn
Is this ever coming out?
How far away are you?
Yeah. So the fact that it's fallen this year, I'm kind of glad about.
It's good stuff. So, shifting on over, we've also had some Ubisoft tweets.
Yes.
So, last week, they were sort of going, hey guys, who's ready for a bit more Far Cry? Maybe some Assassin's Creed? Maybe The Crew? Well, you never guess what they've announced.
To be fair, I think it was a case of they just had to quickly get in front of it, because Assassin's Creed has been pretty much the most widely known secret that it's going to be in Egypt.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's kind of, confirmed.
But when you first saw that question the previous week, when they were like, hey, who's ready for this? What was your answer? No?
Ready to play some other games.
Yeah, exactly. I was please kill me of that sort of mentality. I would rather die than
because wasn't it?
world.
We was playing silly games with Google Translate.
Yes, yeah.
And you sent some Russian, because I was just like, I think it might be Krylik, but I'm not going to stake any bet on it. So I just chucked it into Google Translate. It's like, yeah, that's Russian.
Yeah,
I win.
Do you know, it was actually the Russian from Iron Man 2, where Whiplash meets Justin Hammer, and he speaks some Russian to him. And when he asks him what he says, he goes, "You're a good man," or something like that.
Yeah.
But he actually says, "If I die, don't wake me. I'd rather die than live in your world."
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Ubisoft's announcement.
Yeah.
It's like, please,
just
just
to be fair, there's
stay
just
away.
So much shit to collect that just means nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, they've now tweeted again and gone, guess what? There's Far Cry 5, there's Assassin's Creed, enter generic following name, blah 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 here. And there's The Crew too.
Yeah.
You excited? You're hyped, Link.
Again, my only thought on this is hopefully they can make The Crew fun, because I enjoyed The Crew. It was a bit ropey, but I understood. It's a big game. They can only put so much memory towards actually making a racing game.
Yeah.
But it was just the storyline bullshit.
The storyline was officially balls.
But I said I had a theory, or I have a theory. If they'd have put driver, semicolon, the crew, what would you have thought the storyline?
Still balls, but you'd expect it to be balls.
It works as a driver game.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah, cool. It's always some, like you say, generic. He's a former bank robber turned cop, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And now his chief's been kidnapped, and he's got to chase down the back of the car in the back. And
What skills do you get from your character's background in the game? Like, does he have some special, like,
I think he can
break and enter skill or some shit?
Go transform my car on the move.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say I don't give a monkey's nuts about it. It's a racing game.
Look at Horizon.
There
You're
we
not
go.
a racing game fan, but
That's got exactly what I need.
Horizon's just I want to just go driving around. I can go driving around. I want to actually do some racing.
Yeah.
I want to drive around with my buddies. Oh, let's play King of the Hill.
If you want to dress up me unlocking a new section as starting some sort of festival there, fine. But the bottom line is,
Yeah, it is what it is, and Horizon is fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So look, we've also had the Wall Street Journal making some big announcements saying that
Somewhat of a strange one to be on our.
You know that reliable gaming source, the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah.
Well, they've said that the big N, Nintendo, are working on a Zelda title, a mobile Zelda title.
In a surprise to no one.
Are you amazed? Are you amazed?
No, it's basically just like taking a handful of darts and throwing it behind you at a wall.
Of IPs and just being like
what's the likelihood that Nintendo is going to take an IP that has sold more copies than consoles that it actually is played on? So more copies of the Switch Legends of Zelda have been sold than Switch consoles that are available. Why would you want to then bring that platform, that IP to a platform which is currently in the hands of 2 billion people? 3 billion people?
And you've not entered into before, really, other than the recent ones, which, let's be honest, how well they've done is irrelevant. You're still getting a fuck ton of sales.
Yeah. I think the only question you've got to ask of that is, are they going to go Mario Run style and give us $10? Or are they going to go Fire Emblem? You can have it free. We'll make fucking 50 times more money.
I really hope they go the Mario style, but from what we heard in previous news, I doubt they will be. But anyway, shifting on. So, thank you, Wall Street Journal. Whammy. I've got something really exciting for you. I know you're a little bit hyped about this. I know personally I am. Sonic Forces is getting customizable characters, Link.
Yeah. Well, they've been showing it off, and a few more playtests have been going out.
Yeah.
They've shown it off to some journos. They've opened up little conferences rooms and shown off some new exciting features.
Absolutely, seriously, this game, I couldn't give a flying fuck. I mean, I'll put it this way. I'll say one thing about it. Okay, I saw it, and it really does look shit.
Okay, I'm going to take it from there because I think it's going to turn more into a beef against Sonic.
Sorry.
So we're going to try and stay on topic. I mean, I wasn't really too enamoured with Sonic Forces from what I've seen. It looks pretty enough, but it kind of looks like a game that would be on mobile for me. I haven't seen enough of it to make a solid, reviewable opinion. But this does show that Sega at least listens and tries to sort of appease the fans and give them something they might like.
I think I appreciate what you're saying. They're trying to give more characterization to your game and personalize it. But I think if they were truly listening, what they do is they'd shut shop.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
But I think we should back away from that now.
Look, anyway, there's some more,
close up.
Yeah, let's something a little bit more positive, right? So, Devolver Digital, they're actually holding their own press conference at E3.
Yeah, well, last year they were in the car park opposite.
Yeah, they were.
Because I think it's one of those, isn't it? It's just like, what can we do to get ourselves some attention? Fuck it, let's just roll up outside with some hot dogs and a barbecue.
Did. Just smashed out the grill. Boom, roasted. There's your hot dog, done. Get it. So, Devolver Digital, for those who don't know, and I'm sure you do, loads and loads of huge games, and especially recently as well, they've just been churning them out.
Like you say, they've picked up a lot of indie developers' games and published those, haven't they? We've seen
Yeah.
some really, really far out, interesting titles.
They've got a real eye for quality indie developers, and they know who to sort of get behind and publish and bring sort of to the table. And I think they've done exceedingly well in the last 2-3 years, just on that alone.
Like it started really with a couple of titles, didn't it, that went up really big, and they've allowed them to invest in other stuff, and
most memorable, probably Hotline Miami.
Yeah, that was, I think, the first big Devolver game that I saw.
Yeah, but I mean, they've done loads. I mean, more recently we've had Ronin and Mother Russia Bleeds, which I'm a big personal fan of. Broforce as well. I never stop talking about that game. But yeah, Shadow Warrior.
You just stopped talking about it.
Well, I haven't. In my mind, I haven't. Broforce. Reigns on the mobile.
Yeah.
Great game. All the Serious Sams. Do you remember those? Loads and loads of them.
Well, I think they picked up the publishing for it, didn't they?
Sorry, they did, but I mean, more recently.
Yeah, they republished them.
Foul Play?
Foul Play, oh god, that one for
Xbox
360.
Smashing around. Yeah, I love that one. But yeah, so absolutely amazing stuff in their heritage.
And again, looking forward to what could be potentially coming in the E3 press conference.
But this one game has got you so excited, doesn't it?
We know definitely Absolver's going to be there. Obviously, it's a big release for the August, which we found out obviously last week.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to what's going to be there. Having seen on the website, having a look at what they've been publishing, what they've got coming out. I mean, they've got a really good sort of stable of titles coming out. And I mean, the one for me that I'm really looking excited, just seeing some more of, is Ape Out. I mean, I don't think we've actually talked about it on the podcasts previously, but it's this really interesting title. It's a top-down sort of, think Hotline Miami, but you're a gorilla that's escaped.
Yeah.
And it's set to this. Everything's set to this jazz soundtrack. So,
super simple graphics, isn't it?
We're
just talking
silhouettes.
Silhouettes basically of a top-down view of like maybe a corridor or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just an ape, and you've got to get from point A to point B, mashing up
and
anything.
not get killed.
Not get killed, but
people. Yeah. And you've got, I think, like a shield or something like that you can batter people with. It looks mental, but it just everything rolls in time with the music. And obviously, because it's jazz, it's just you're just like rolling through, and it's just pow, and then you've just smashed someone through a door, and he's just careered into 3 other people. I mean, again, just go and have a check out of it. There'll be loads and loads of videos for it online. It sounds amazing. It's not going to be a game that's going to enthrall you for 40 hours, but you'll get little 5-10 minute bursts of hilarious fun out.
It kind of reminds me of games like, what's the one where you sort of, what time moves only when you move, that we've had recently? The one where you throw the sword and
stuff.
There we go. It's the ESG style brain pause. This happens consistently in all of our podcasts.
Something hot.
Something.
Oh god.
Oh
I can remember the game that it inspired, Cluster Truck, which is a platforming version with trucks that blow up. So yeah, but anyway.
Hot.
I don't know.
Oh god!
But we know the one. It's
super hot.
That's it.
Whammy! Because the worst thing is, if you play it, it just goes
super hot. I remember the hot,
and all I could remember was the hot. Damn it, man. Anyway, brain fart. There we go. Cool. Any final thoughts? Anything?
No, looking forward to Ape Out, but I think week ahead really. It's just looking forward to now we're in the pre-E3 rumour train, and that's getting into full swing. So I'm just looking forward to what leaks, like what if EA's isn't news by the time they get to their pre-conference, their pre-E3 conference.
Things are going to get leaked the shit out.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Well, again, Ubisoft had to get in front of it before everything fucking leaked.
Egypt, cool. No, don't worry about that.
It's definitely Assassin's Creed. We'll tell you there's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, smooth. Cool. There we go. Well, we're wrapping it up for another week. There's our Bullet Bills Big 3, folks. Look, as always, if you liked what you heard, just a bit of love. Hit the like button, and also if you want to hit a bit more of the ESG shows, come on, hit the subscribe, come and join us. So, Angry Link, from yourself, it's
adios,
and from me, it's peace.